Every morning, someone wakes up stronger than yesterday, not because they were born powerful, but because they refuse to quit. Today, you have the same choice. You can either repeat the same excuses or step into the version of yourself that says with full belief, I will win. This is your moment. This is your test. This is the day you decide who you truly are. Every great transformation begins with a single step, and that step is often small. People look at champions and assume they were always powerful, but the truth is they all started with tiny, almost invisible progress. A light dumbbell, a short walk, a simple stretch, these are the seeds of strength. You don't have to begin big to win big. What matters is that you begin. When you walk into the gym for the first time, everything feels overwhelming. The equipment looks heavy, the people look experienced, and doubt whispers in your mind, but your victory starts with that first small action. Even if it's just learning how to lift properly or doing 5 minutes of cardio, that moment becomes the foundation for everything you will become. Small starts teach you patience. They show you that progress is not about giant leaps, but about steady movement. When you learn to appreciate small improvements, you stop rushing the process and start respecting it. And once you respect the process rewards you. You might see someone lifting heavy weights and feel discouraged, but remember they also started with the basics. Every strong body began with a weak beginning. Every confident lifter once felt unsure. You are not behind, you are simply starting your own journey. These small beginnings also protect you. Many people rush into heavy weights and end up hurting themselves. But by starting small, you build strength safely. You give your body time to adapt. You avoid the mistakes others make when they let their ego lead them. Small steps also create discipline. When you start with something manageable, you are more likely to stay consistent. Too many people quit because they push too hard too soon. But when you begin at a pace you can maintain, you build a habit. And habits build champions. As you take these small steps, you'll wake up one day and realize that what once felt heavy now feels easy. Your growth becomes undeniable. The weights increase, your energy rises, your confidence grows, all because you honored the first small step. Another thing small starts do is build belief. When you see even a tiny improvement, it becomes proof that you can grow. That proof fuels your motivation. You no longer wonder if you can get stronger, you start expecting it. Over time, these small victories stack up. 1 rep becomes 5, 5 becomes 10, and a few months later you're lifting weights you once thought were impossible. That is the power of consistent small beginnings. They turn dreams into achievements. And in the end, when people see your transformation, they'll think it happened overnight. But you will know the truth. It began with 1 small step, 1 simple choice, 1 moment where you said, I'm starting, even if it's small. That first small action was not just a move, it was the spark of the champion inside you. Every person who builds a strong body first builds a strong mind. Without mental discipline, even the best workout plan falls apart. The moment you step into the gym, your thoughts decide your future. If your mind is weak, your body follows. But if your mind is steady, focused, and determined, your body rises to match it. Strength begins long before you touch a weight. It begins in your mindset. Mental discipline teaches you to push through the moments when you feel tired. Most people quit not because the exercise is impossible, but because their thoughts convince them to stop early. When you train your mind to stay calm in discomfort, your body learns to overcome it. You start realizing that the limits you believed in were only mental barriers. Building mental discipline also helps you stay committed on days when motivation is low. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. There will be mornings when you feel lazy or evenings when you feel drained. Discipline is what gets you up anyway, ties your shoes, and brings you into the gym ready to fight for your goals. A strong mindset protects you from excuses. Excuses always sound convincing. You're tired, you're busy, you'll start tomorrow. But mental discipline refuses to negotiate with these thoughts. It teaches you to silence the noise and focus on what truly matters, your progress. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger from the inside out. Mental discipline also helps you avoid the mistakes many beginners make. Some people rush, others compare themselves, and many give up after the first struggle. But when your mind is trained, you understand that challenges are part of the journey. You stop comparing your day 1 to someone else's year 5. You start trusting your own pace, your own path. Another thing mental discipline gives you is clarity. When your mind is steady, you know why you're training. You know your purpose, your goals, your reason for stepping into the gym. With clarity, you're less likely to drift away or lose direction. Every rep becomes intentional, every step becomes meaningful. Over time, mental discipline transforms the way you react to pain and fatigue. Instead of seeing them as signs to stop, you start seeing them as signs that you are growing. The discomfort becomes a signal that you are improving, getting closer to the person you dream of becoming. This shift in thinking is what separates the committed from the casual. Mental discipline also strengthens patience. In the gym, results take time, muscles grow slowly, strength builds gradually, and body transformation requires consistency. A strong mind understands this and doesn't expect instant success. You keep showing up knowing that every session is adding something valuable to your future self. With discipline, you also develop resilience. When life gets tough, stress, setbacks, lack of energy, you don't crumble. You push through because your mind has been trained to stay steady under pressure. This resilience doesn't just help in the gym, it helps in every part of your life. You start becoming stronger emotionally, not just physically. In the end, mental discipline becomes your greatest weapon. Muscles can tire, energy can drop, but a disciplined mind keeps you standing. It reminds you why you started, it pushes you to continue, and it shapes you into a person who rises no matter how hard things get. When your mind becomes strong, your body has no choice but to follow. Progress in the gym doesn't happen overnight. It begins slowly, almost quietly, with small steps that don't feel dramatic at first. But these small steps are the foundation of lasting strength. Every session adds something to your growth, even if you don't see the changes immediately. The body changes in silence, little improvements stacking on top of each other until they form something powerful. When you learn to respect slow progress, you stop rushing the process. Many people lose hope because they expect transformation too quickly. They look at themselves in the mirror and feel frustrated when results aren't instant. But real progress takes patience and consistency. Slow growth teaches you that every day counts, even the days that feel ordinary. Each small improvement builds confidence. When you notice that you can lift a little heavier than last week or run a little farther than before, you realize that your efforts are working. These small victories create momentum. One step leads to another, and soon you're achieving things you never believed you could. Slow progress also protects you from burnout. When you try to do too much too fast, your body becomes exhausted and injuries become more likely. But when you grow gradually, You give your muscles, joints, and strength time to develop safely. This balance keeps you steady and prevents long breaks that come from pushing beyond your limits too soon. It also teaches you discipline. When results come slowly, only disciplined people continue showing up. You begin to understand that consistency is stronger than intensity. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep moving. Slow progress rewards those who don't give up, those who stay committed even when the journey feels long. With slow progress, comparison loses its power. You stop worrying about people who seem stronger or faster. Instead of feeling discouraged, you begin focusing on your own path. You realize that everyone's journey is different and that your growth is unique to you. This mindset brings peace and keeps you focused on improvement rather than competition. Slow progress builds humility. It reminds you that true strength is earned, not given. The patience it requires shapes your character. You learn to appreciate every rep, every drop of sweat, every challenge. This humility helps you stay grounded even as you continue to improve. Over time, slow progress becomes visible. Others may suddenly notice a change in your body or strength and call it transformation. But you know it wasn't sudden at all. It was built day by day through quiet effort and steady dedication. This makes the transformation even more meaningful because you know how much work went into it. Slow progress keeps you connected to the journey rather than obsessed with the destination. You start enjoying the daily grind, the small improvements, the steady rhythm of routine. The gym becomes a place of growth rather than pressure. This mindset keeps you motivated for months and years, not just weeks. And ultimately, slow progress shapes you into someone powerful inside and out. It molds your mindset, strengthens your discipline, and builds your resilience. You realize that greatness grows slowly, but it grows surely, and every small step forward is proof that you are moving closer to the strongest version of yourself. Many people enter the gym with excitement, but they forget the most important thing: the mind leads the body. When your thoughts are scattered, your results become weak. Real strength begins with mental focus, because every rep starts in your head before it reaches your muscles. When you walk into the gym with purpose, your performance immediately rises. This focus is what separates those who grow from those who stay the same. When your mind is present, you stop wasting energy. You don't rush through reps just to finish them. You feel every movement. You become aware of the contraction, the stretch, the balance. This awareness is what creates quality training. Without it, the set becomes empty and the body barely learns anything. But when the mind is locked in, even light weight becomes effective. Mental focus also protects you from mistakes. Many people lift with ego, fast and careless, leading to injuries. A focused mind keeps your form clean. It reminds you to stabilize your core, control your breathing, and move with precision. This kind of controlled training not only builds muscle faster, but also keeps you safe, allowing you to train long, term without setbacks. Your mind decides how far you can push. When you train with focus, you don't stop when it gets uncomfortable. You push through when most people quit. You learn to challenge yourself intelligently, to finish the last rep with control rather than giving up halfway. This controlled intensity builds real power and teaches you how strong you truly are. A focused mindset blocks out distractions. You stop looking around at others, comparing yourself, or losing motivation. The gym becomes your zone, your battlefield, your place of growth. When distractions fade, your progress becomes clearer. Every minute spent there becomes productive instead of wasted. Focus also strengthens discipline. It teaches you to show up even on days you feel tired, stressed, or unmotivated. A disciplined mind tells you, just start, and once you begin, everything else falls into place. This discipline carries into your life outside the gym as well, improving your habits, your patience, and your confidence. Mental focus helps you overcome self-doubt. Everyone has moments when they feel weak or incapable, but a strong mind reminds you of your goals. It tells you to trust the process. It tells you that progress is happening even if you don't see it daily. It keeps you from giving up during the slow phases when many people drop out. When you train with intention, every session has meaning. You stop going to the gym just to be there, and instead you go to build something within yourself. You go to challenge yesterday's version of you. This sense of purpose gives your workouts energy and direction, making them more effective and more fulfilling. Focus deepens your connection with your goals. Instead of dreaming vaguely about getting fit or getting strong, you develop a clear picture of what you want. You begin training not only for the body you want, but for the life you want, a life of strength, resilience, and discipline. This vision becomes fuel that keeps your training alive, and over time your mindset becomes your greatest strength. Muscles grow, but the mind is what keeps you consistent. The mind is what makes you push when it hurts, stay when it's tough, and rise when you fail. With a focused mind, you don't just lift weights, you lift yourself, and that strength stays with you far beyond the gym. A strong physique is built not only inside the gym, but also in the choices you make outside of it. Rest is not a weakness, it is the fuel that rebuilds your strength. When you push your body hard, you create small tears in the muscles. These tears don't grow during the workout, they grow when you rest. This recovery process is what transforms effort into results, and without rest, your progress slows down no matter how hard you train. Many people underestimate the power of sleep. They give their best in the gym, but stay up late scrolling on their phones, not realizing how much harm it does. Quality sleep helps your body repair muscle, reset your energy, and balance your hormones. When you sleep well, you wake up stronger, more focused, and more prepared to push yourself further. Without sleep, fatigue builds up, and your training becomes weaker. Rest also sharpens your mental strength. When you're exhausted, your mind becomes foggy and unfocused. You start making mistakes, your form breaks down, and your motivation fades. But when your mind is fresh, you train with clarity, you feel every rep and stay in control. Recovery is not just physical, it's mental healing that prepares you to return stronger the next day. Your performance increases dramatically when your body is well, rested. A day of rest doesn't set you back, it sets you up for better lifts, better endurance, and better discipline. Many people fear rest because they think it means slowing down. But real athletes understand that rest is part of the grind. It is a strategic tool, not a sign of laziness. Proper recovery also prevents injuries. When you ignore rest and push your body without giving it time to heal, your joints, tendons, and muscles suffer. Small pains become bigger problems, and suddenly you're forced to take long breaks, the exact thing you tried to avoid. But when you listen to your body, you stay healthy and consistent, which is the real key to long-term progress. Food plays a major role in recovery too. The meals you eat after training decide how well your body rebuilds. Protein, water, and proper nutrition give your muscles the materials they need to grow. Without them, even the hardest workouts become wasted effort. Eating right is like giving your body the tools to repair itself effectively. Rest teaches patience. It reminds you that growth is a process, not an instant result. When you learn to respect recovery, you stop rushing and start trusting the journey. You start understanding that every strong athlete values rest as much as they value training. That balance is what creates real transformation. Recovery also strengthens your motivation. When you take time to breathe, reflect, and reset, you return with more hunger and determination. Rest renews your energy and rebuilds your spirit. Without it, the fire inside you begins to fade. With it, the fire grows stronger. A well-rested body trains with higher quality. You lift better, move better, and stay focused longer. Instead of dragging yourself through a workout, you attack it with power. This difference in energy changes everything about your training experience. You become more confident, more consistent, and more explosive. And in the end, rest becomes part of your discipline. It's not about taking time off. It's about taking care of the body that carries you through the journey. When you combine intense effort with proper recovery, you build a body that is strong, balanced, and unstoppable. You learn that real strength is not just built in the grind, it's built in the moments you allow yourself to recover. Many people walk into the gym and guess their way through every workout, hoping something will change. But progress doesn't happen through guessing, it happens through tracking. When you write down your lifts, reps, sets, and improvements, you give yourself a roadmap. You stop wondering if you're growing and start knowing. Tracking turns your fitness journey from confusion into clarity. When you track your workouts, you create accountability. You can't lie to yourself about how hard you trained or how often you showed up. The numbers tell the truth. This honesty pushes you to do better. If you lifted 40 pounds last week, you naturally want to try 45 this week. Tracking gives you something to beat, something to chase, something that keeps you hungry. Progress becomes visible when you track it. You might not notice small improvements in the mirror, but the paper doesn't lie. When you look back and see that you were lifting lighter just a month ago, it reminds you how far you've come. This proof builds confidence and keeps you motivated, especially on days when you feel stuck or slow. Tracking also helps you train smarter. You start understanding which workouts give you the best results and which ones don't. You know what days you felt strong and what days you struggled. Over time, patterns appear. You learn what your body responds to. This knowledge helps you adjust your routine and push yourself more intelligently. It prevents you from repeating mistakes. If you keep injuring yourself on a particular exercise, tracking helps you identify the problem. If you realize you haven't increased weight in weeks, tracking shows you where to improve. Without record keeping, you stay stuck. With it, you grow faster and safer. Tracking your workouts also increases discipline. When you write down your goals and steps, you feel responsible for completing them. It gives structure to your training. Instead of walking into the gym without a plan, you walk in with direction. This discipline builds consistency, and consistency builds progress. Small improvements become exciting when you track them. Adding 1 rep or increasing weight by a few pounds may not feel huge, but seeing it written down gives you a sense of achievement. These small wins accumulate and create momentum. This momentum makes the journey enjoyable rather than stressful. Tracking also helps you avoid overtraining. When you see your weekly volume laid out, you understand when to push harder and when to slow down. This balance keeps your body healthy. Many people burn out because they push without paying attention. Tracking ensures you progress without destroying yourself. Your goals become clearer when you track your workouts. Instead of vague dreams like "I want to get stronger," you begin setting specific targets. Lift this weight, run this distance, complete this amount of reps. These clear goals give your training purpose and direction. Every session becomes part of a bigger plan. In the end, tracking your workouts becomes a form of self-respect. It shows that you take your progress seriously. It proves that you are committed to becoming stronger, not just physically but mentally. When you track your journey, you control your growth instead of leaving it to luck. And every record you write becomes another step toward the stronger, more disciplined version of yourself. Success in the gym is not about doing everything perfectly from the beginning. It is about refusing to quit, no matter how slow the progress feels. The journey will not always be smooth. There will be days when your energy is low, when your muscles feel weak, when your motivation disappears. But the decision to keep going, even on those difficult days, is what shapes real strength. Showing up when it's easy means nothing. Showing up when it's hard means everything. Consistency is the reason some people transform while others stay the same. Even small efforts done repeatedly create massive results over time. When you train regularly, your body adapts, your mind becomes sharper, and your discipline grows. Missing a day doesn't break you, but breaking your routine again and again slows your growth. Consistency teaches you that greatness is built through small, repeated actions, not rare moments of intensity. Every consistent day you put in becomes part of your foundation. You may not notice the progress immediately, but something is happening inside you. Your endurance increases, your strength grows, your mindset becomes stronger. This invisible progress is what eventually turns into visible change, but it only appears when you refuse to stop. Consistency also protects you from giving in to excuses. Everyone has busy days, tired days, stressful days, but consistent people don't let these moments control them. They train even when conditions aren't perfect. They remind themselves that discipline is stronger than mood. This mentality not only builds a stronger body, but also builds a resilient character. When you stay consistent, setbacks become stepping stones instead of obstacles. You might face injuries, delays, or slow progress, but consistency keeps you grounded. It tells you to heal, adjust, and return stronger. Instead of quitting during setbacks, you learn how to rise from them. This ability to recover and continue is what separates long-term success from short-term effort. Consistency creates identity. When you train regularly, you stop saying, "I want to be strong," and you start saying, "I am someone who trains." That shift in identity changes everything. You begin acting like the person you are becoming instead of dreaming about the person you want to be. This inner transformation is far more important than any physical change. Your confidence increases when you remain consistent. You realize that you can rely on yourself. You learn that you don't need perfect circumstances to move forward. You only need a determined heart. This belief in yourself grows stronger each time you push through doubt or laziness. Confidence is earned through your actions, and consistency is how you earn it. Consistency also helps you appreciate the journey. Instead of chasing quick results, you start enjoying the process, the sweat, the grind, the small victories. You realize that your dedication is shaping you into someone powerful. The gym becomes not just a place to train, but a place where you grow mentally, emotionally, and physically. Over time, consistency becomes a habit. You no longer force yourself to work out. You feel incomplete without it. It becomes part of your lifestyle, something natural and meaningful. This habit becomes your strength, something that stays with you even when motivation fades. And in the end, consistency becomes the reason you succeed. Not luck, not shortcuts, not perfect conditions, just your commitment to show up again and again. That simple choice transforms your body, your mindset, and your life. When you stay consistent, you don't just chase results, you become unstoppable. Success in the gym and in life belongs to the one who keeps pushing when the world expects them to stop. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be the strongest. You just need to stay dedicated, stay patient, and never let go of the belief that your effort matters. One day, you will look back and say every drop of sweat, every struggle, every sacrifice was worth it. Because in the end, the victory belongs to the one who kept going, and that person is you. You will win.